Hello guys, and welcome back again to another interesting tutorial video. On today's video, we'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful half circle flare gown. So if this is what you're interested in learning, let's dive into the video without wasting much time. I have my Ankara fabric and it's about 5 yards. I have the lining and also the lace trimming that I'll be using for the front design. Okay, so I'll just go ahead now and I'll keep all these ones aside so that we can start working on the Ankara fabric. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to open up this Ankara fabric and I'm going to fold it by 2. I mean, you have to fold the whole 5 yards by 2 and then you move over to your sewing machine to stitch on it, to join it together. Okay, the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want to, in a situation whereby after cutting I'll be joining it, because this is a full flare and it's very long. So if you do not do it like this, remember that Ankara fabric is normally 45 inches in length. So if you do not join it like this, you end up joining it after you are done cutting out. Okay, so I don't want it in a situation that after cutting out I'll still go ahead and join. So I want to do it once. Okay, so I want to do it now before cutting out. Okay, so after I'm done joining it, the next thing I'm going to do is to open up this side. Okay, I'm going to open it up with my scissors, and after that I will end up having a very wide fabric. Okay, it will not be very wide. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to fold it in a triangular shape. Remember that this is a 720-degree flare, so you have to fold it in a triangular shape, just as you can see like this. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to divide my waist measurement by 4, and I'm going to add extra 2 inches allowance. Okay, so I'm going to locate where it's going to fit in from this triangular shape side. Okay, can you see what I'm doing there? So I'm going to use that line as the waistline. Okay, I'm going to use that line as the waistline. Remember that this is a half length gown, so I have to minus that half length from the shoulder to the half length. I have to minus it, and from that side I'm going to place my tape, and then I'm going to measure the full length of the gown. Okay, so I'm going to get the full length of the gown and I will be adding extra 1 inch for hemming allowance. That is what I'm trying to do here, but I noticed that that part was not showing at all. So what I was trying to do there is to get the length of the gown, okay, from your half length to the full length of the gown, and then add extra 2 inches allowance, then connect the dots. So after you are done doing all these things, the next thing you are going to do is to cut out. So after cutting out, I'm also going to fold another fabric and I'm going to place this first one at the top of it. Okay, remember that the first one we cut out now is the front piece, so we are going to fold another fabric for the back piece, and I'm going to bring out about 1 inch from the back side. Okay, for the zipper allowance, I'm going to bring out about 1 inch for zipper allowance. Okay, and then I'm going to cut out. So now you can see that the difference between the two of them is just that zipper allowance there. So after you are done cutting out, the next thing you are going to do is to cut it open. Okay, you have to divide it by 2 for that back piece. Okay, and then I'm going to notch out so that by the time I'm sewing it, I'll be able to know where the zipper allowance starts from, right? So I'm going to notch out, and then after notching out, I'll also keep it aside and then start working on the upper bodice. So I'm going to fold another fabric like this. Okay, and after you are done folding it, the next thing you're going to do is to mark out the shoulder line, the chest line, and then the half length, which is the waistline. So I'm going to add extra 1 inches there from that waistline. Okay, for hemming allowance, for joining allowance. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to divide my bust measurement by 4. I'm going to put it down on the bust line, which is the chest line, and I'm going to add extra 2 inches allowance, and I also repeat the same thing on the waistline. Okay, so on the shoulder line, I'm going to divide my shoulder measurement by 2, and then I'm going to create an armhole, okay, just like this. Then for the neckline, I'm going to use 3 by 4. Okay, I'm going to mark 3 inches in, and I'm going to come down with 4 inches. Then I'm going to connect the whole dot. I noticed that this chalk is not showing too well, but I didn't notice that until now. Okay, so you have to bear with me. I don't want to delete this video. I want to post it because I really spent time in making this video, so this chalk will not be a hindrance to me. So remember to minus half an inch or 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Okay, so I'm going to cut out, and after I'm done cutting out, the next thing I'm going to do now is to fold another fabric so that we can be able to cut the back piece. Okay, so remember to bring out zipper allowance just as we did earlier on the flare part. Okay, so whatever measurement that you bring out from the flare for the zipper is what you are going to repeat on this part. Okay, so I'm going to cut out now, and then after that I'll go ahead and cut the lining. Okay, I'll cut the lining exactly the same way I cut the upper side, and for the down the flare lining, I'm going to make it short. Okay, it's not going to be very long just like the flare. Okay, it's going to be shorter than the flare part. Please keep on watching so that you have to understand all these things. Okay, so guys, I want to use this medium to say a very big thank you to my subscribers, to my new subscribers, and my old subscribers that are always coming back. Thank you so very much. I did not take it, I'm not taking it for granted. I love you guys so much. And please, if today is your first time coming across my channel, please do not forget to hit on the subscribe button, turn up your bell notification so that whenever I post a video you get notified. Okay, and please guys, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, share the video so that more people can be able to see it. Okay, so I'm trying to bring out remove the zipper bulge from here. Okay, and then I'm going to cut out. So this is going to be for the flare. I've gone ahead to fold it in a triangular shape. Then the next thing I'm going to do now is to bring out the front piece flare, and I'm going to place it at the top of this one so that I can be able to get exactly the waist. Okay, so I'm going to paste it on the top of it, and then I'm going to cut out from that waistline. So after I'm done cutting it out, I'm going to measure where I want the flare to reach, where I want the lining to reach, because I told you guys earlier that it's not going to be very long just like the flare. This one will be short. Okay, so I'm going to mark out, and after I'm done marking out, I'll go ahead and connect the whole dots and then cut out. So this is what I have. I also go ahead and cut the sleeve. Okay, I have a detailed tutorial on how to cut a basic long and short sleeve. Please, you guys to check it out there. Okay, so and I also go ahead and cut out lining for the sleeve because I don't want thread to show on that the down part of the sleeve. Okay, while folding it, so I want to cut out lining for it so that by the time I turn it up, it's going to be very, very neat. Okay, that is the reason why I'm cutting out lining for the sleeve, but on the normal I don't used to do that. So for the sleeve part now, I remove about 1 inches. Okay, so that by the time I turn it up, the line is not going to be showing. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is to sew in the darts. Okay, after sewing the darts, I will also repeat the same thing on the back piece. Okay, I'm trying to do it, but my chalk is not showing too well, so you guys should please pardon me. And whatever you did on that fabric is what you are going to repeat on the lining fabric as well. Okay, so as you can see, I'm done sewing mine, and this is what I have. Okay, so it's now time to join the down part to it. So I'll first of all get the midpoint. I'm going to join the lining separately and the fabric separately. Okay, so I'm going to get the midpoint of the front piece, both for the flare part and the upper part. Okay, So I'm going to join it now, move over to my sewing machine to stitch on it. Okay, and then whatever I did on the front piece is what I'm going to repeat on the back piece as well. So but before that, I'm going to first of all sew in the pocket. Okay, the reason why I did not show you how to sew the pocket is because the fabric was not enough and there are so many joining there, which if I try to carry you guys along, you might get lost or something like that. So I join it, there's so many joining there, so that is why I did not take you guys along in sewing the pockets. And so guys, please pardon me for that. Okay, if you want me to make a clear video on how to sew that pocket, I'll still do it, but I think I have another video on how to make this type of pocket. Please, you can also go ahead and check it out. Okay, so after joining it, I'll go ahead and iron it first, and after I'm done ironing it, I'll fold it like this, just as you can see me doing, so I can be able to get the midpoint from the upper side down to the downside. Okay, so I'll use my iron, my steam iron, to create a line, okay, at the center, so that I can be able to know where to join these trimmings. Okay, so I'm going to start joining the trimmings. I'm trying to show you guys how I'm going to do it when I get to my sewing machine. As I place it like this, I'm going to sew it at the both side. Okay, and then after I'm done sewing it, I'll come back and show you what I have. So I tried adding more of this, but I think only 2 is enough. I don't know, but I later used just 2 of it. Okay, so I think I don't like this, so let me just go ahead and make use of these 2. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to sew on the both side of it, and after I'm done sewing it, I'll also come back and sew the other side. So I'm done sewing one and I want to sew the second one now. I also sew on the both side of this one as well. So after sewing it, we are going to know the next step to go on. Okay, so guys, I'm done sewing the trimmings, so it's now time to sew in the lining. Okay, so I'm going to place the lining, make sure that the right side is facing the right side, and I'll first of all sew the neckline. Okay, I'm going to join the neckline first, and then after I'm done joining the neckline, I'll come back and join the side. Okay, so I'm going to join the 2 sides now. I'm not going to be joining the armhole side, okay, because I'll be attaching my sleeve. I didn't mean that I don't want to add any sleeve on it. I will just go ahead and sew both the sleeve and the armhole part. Okay, so after joining it, the next thing I'm going to do is to notch the neck area. I'm going to notch it out so that by the time I flip it over, it's going to relax very well. Okay, so after this, I'm going to move over to my ironing table to give it a nice press. Okay, then I'm also going to repeat the same thing on the back piece. So I'm done joining the lining, and this is what I have. And I also went ahead to give it a nice press. So it's now time to join the both back together. Okay, so I'm going to place it, make sure that all the lines are even, and then I'm going to measure from the waistline. I'm going to measure 5 inches down, and from that 5 inches I'm going to close it up till down. Okay, just sew from that 5 inches till the down using your zipper allowance that you bring out earlier, and after that I'm going to join this zipper. I'll be using this zipper for it. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and after joining the downside, I will sew in the zipper. Okay, So this is what I have after I'm done joining the zipper. Can you see it? I'm trying to fast forward this so that, because this has already taken a lot of time, so I'm trying to fast forward it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to join both the front and the back piece together now. Make sure that the right side is facing the right side, and then I'm going to first of all join the shoulder. I'm going to join the shoulder using one of the lining to cover up the stitches. Okay, and then after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to sew in the design, okay, the lace trimmings on the sleeve side, sleeve area. Okay, I'm trying to sew it on the at the middle of the sleeve. Okay, then after I'm done doing on that one, I'm going to repeat it on the other sleeve as well, just as we did earlier on the front piece of the dress. Okay, so now I'm done sewing it, and it's now time to turn it up with lining. I'm going to first of all sew the downside. Okay, remember that we minused 1 inch from the lining. Okay, so the lining is 1 inch shorter than the main fabric. So after you're done, the next thing you're going to do is to flip it over and then top stitch on it. Okay, to hold the two fabric together, both the lining and the main fabric. You have to hold it together and then give a nice press. So after that, it's now time to join the sleeve to the main fabric. So I'm going to join the sleeve now. Okay, the right side should be facing the right side, and then I'm going to join it. So after you are done joining the both sleeve, the next thing you are going to do is to start to close up the dress. Okay, so I'm going to divide my sleeve band measurement by 2, and I'm going to sew. Okay, I'm going to place it on the sleeve side, that sleeve band, and I'm going to sew from there. And on the bust area, I'm going to divide my bust round measurement by 2. I'm going to measure the remaining one, and then I'm going to share it into 2 equal parts. Place one on the other side and one on the other part as well. Then I'm going to also repeat it on the waistline. My waist round measurement divided by 2. I'm going to measure the remaining of it, the allowance remaining, and I'm going to share it into 2 equal parts as well. Then put half on the other side and half on the other side. Okay, so whatever measurement I have from that waistline is what I'm going to use and sew it till I get to the downside. Okay, so I'm going to follow the chalk now, and I'm going to sew. And when I get to that waistline, I'm going to use that measurements to sew it till I get to the downside. Okay, and then whatever you do on this part is what I'm going to repeat on the other side as well. Okay, so that's just it. And after you are done joining this side, next thing you're going to do is to hem the downside and then iron it very well. Okay, and set the rough parts, right? So I'm going to put it on my mannequin to show you guys the outcome of it. Okay, so this is what we have after we are done doing that. You can see how fine it came out, how beautiful it came out, right? So thank you guys so very much for watching my video. Thank you for always coming back. So this is what I was trying to explain earlier. I don't want thread to be showing on that downside, so that is why I turn it up with lining, right? So thank you guys so very much for watching my video, for always clicking, for always coming back to watch my video. Please, if you have not subscribed, hit on the subscribe button, turn up your bell notification so that whenever I post a video, you get notified. I think I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Okay.